Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, before going too far, I want you to watch these videos from Iran. Iranians, they have come out and sent a very powerful message to the Americans people, especially black Americans. Well, kindly watch this, then I'll be back with more comment.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. I'm from Iran and we are here to show you the solidarity and the connection that the US imperialism made us to have through one God, one blood and one common enemy. All these people, martyrs that you had faced and have experienced, have the same experience as us. They fought against the imperialism, tried to build their own foundation, tried to build their own society independently, and got killed. None of these guys are unfamiliar with all these titles like gangsters, radicals, just like we are facing right now in the history in the Middle East. They're calling us terrorists, extremists, radicals. From Martin Luther King, Malcolm X to Nipsey Hussle, we are all sharing the same goal, having an independent and free society. Assalamu alaikum, peace.
Listen to this.
American people, I'm an Iranian woman talking to you from Iran. I don't know if they let you hear my message or not, but after the riots in Iran, Trump said he wants to save us, the Iranians. But we Iranian people do not need his saving, and you Americans do not need his lies anymore. His policies are harming both of us. His plan for Iran was clear from the beginning. He used sanctions as a weapon, not only against the government, but also against ordinary people like families, workers, patients, and students like me. He wanted the inflation to rise and daily life to become unbearable for us. And then when we protested against the economic pressure and not the Islamic regime, the Israel-backed agents, organized terrorists and armed militias stepped in and turned our peaceful protests into violence and calculated acts of sabotage. And when they failed to regime change, that violence is now being used by Trump as an excuse to start a war against Iran, both to burn my country and to burn your tax dollars. Quite the opposite of his promise to put America first. But while he's blaming Iran and talking about freedom abroad, look at what he's doing to you, his own nation. You're peacefully protesting against racism and injustice, and yet your police and National Guard respond with tear gas and bullets. And now he wants to distract you by dragging you into another foreign war. We must stand together against the wrong and dangerous policies of those in power. You must not allow Trump to attack Iran, because if he does, my country will be damaged and your people will be buried. It's not a win-lose situation, only loss on both sides. I know you want no more wars. I know how many American families have already paid the price of war. You have sent your loved ones to fight in countries far from home. And I tell you that the war with Iran will not be as easy as kidnapping the Venezuela's president. I'm not the speaker of Iran's government, but all the Iranian officials have warned that thousands of American soldiers will die in the Persian Gulf and the U.S. military bases across the region. And this is not a threat. This is a reality of war. And we, the Iranian people, do not want this to happen to you. So you, the American people, must not let this crazy old man decide the fate of millions, because your lives and our lives worth more than his ambition.
We hear, Imam, that today, perhaps today, some black hostages and some female hostages will be released from the American embassy compound. Is that true?
The freedom of the women and blacks will be given. Women are given great dignity in Islam, and the blacks have been oppressed in the United States. Great injustice was done unto them. They were under pressure in the United States. Thus they came here. We are doing this owing to the tenets of Islam. In return, we ask nothing for their freedom. We want the Shah. Carter must return him. The world's international law agree with this principle.
I ask you, as an American and a human being, talking to an Iranian and another human being, is there no room for compromise? Or is Iran now in effect at war with the United States?
حضرت امام آیا جناب عالی یا به طور کلی ایران در حال حاضر با امریکا در حال جنگ هستیم؟
جنگ مقصود چی است؟ اگر مقصود این است که
What do you mean by war? If you mean our armies against the United States armies, no, there is no such war. If you mean it is a battle of nerves, it is Carter's doing. We are against war. We are Muslims. We desire peace for all. Carter does not allow this. Carter should put aside his so-called humanism and return the criminal Shah so that we can conclude this matter.
Iran put a picture of Tupac on the nose of a drone, and I think it's a better time than ever to analyze why. From Lego Malcolm X to a mural of Nipsey Hussle, Iran has been sending clear messages to marginalized American communities throughout the entire conflict. And if you ask me, it's a way more effective way to get the messaging out than like putting the info out and hoping that the oil investing billionaires that own the American media report on it. But why? If you ask me, it has everything to do with how things run in America. The dual labor market theory is the idea that it's really not just all about competition and free market capitalism. The nature of the free market creates two categories. The primary market, which is the stable, well-paying jobs with benefits, so think corporate and medical professionals, skilled trades, union workers, etc., as well as a secondary market of unstable, low-wage jobs like fast food, domestic work, gig work, and believe it or not, content creation. And when we add the layers of American racism, sexism, and overall homophobia, this is not the rule, but the trend is that you will see more marginalized groups like black people in the secondary American economy than the primary, which is where, in my head, it makes sense that the propaganda aimed to be spread on social media, a space that exists in the secondary economy, is being themed and crafted to catch the attention of black people in America. And it's no secret that black Americans and Americans of color are the cultural engine of this country. There's a reason you don't hear about doctors or bankers coming out with the latest fashion trends or dances. It's not their job in society, but more importantly, it's also not their role in American culture. Most American news outlets are just as compromised as the average viewer, and that's by design, as it's typically messaging from the top 1% of the primary market in America. It's why TikTok is still such an issue as a competitor in that space. The content on this app doesn't always come from the controlled narrative of a billionaire or the primary market. A lot of times it comes from a content creator doing research, working out of that secondary market. That's a huge problem for an American empire that wants to control the narrative around a war only the top 1% of the primary market really benefits from. Enter Lego Malcolm X getting ready to press the button from a missile site. That's just my thoughts on it though. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm always posting about stuff like this. Shoot me a follow to stay up to date.
Nope. Nope. I just watched that video on that flight from Nashville that had to ground in Atlanta because of a threat. Yeah. Heads down, hands up. Heads down, hands up. And they escorted that one man up off that joint. All I could think was sleeper cell. Sleeper cell. We don't know who they are and where they are, but I got a feeling that they are going to be where these people are. So we need to not be where these people are in numbers. Yes, this is the time. Black people, while we are minding our business, stop inviting these people to the cookouts. No more invites until it is safe. No more invites. We cannot go where they go. To the black people who have found themselves the one black person amongst a white family, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Do not come looking for us for help. Okay? Black people, we need not to conjugate amongst these people where they are the majority and we are the minority. It is not safe right now. It's not safe. We don't know where sleeper cells are. We know they don't have any beef with us, okay? The big I, not the little one, has no beef with the melanated American, okay? The little I, not the big one, they just mad that they stole an identity that was not theirs and they have to face that rapture. We need to stay out of this because this is a war of white people and billionaires. Yeah, y'all voted for that man, y'all deal with it, okay? The Hispanics, they ushered you in the front door and out the back door. I am gonna say, you're not safe in this either. Okay? There is multiple wars going on outside that we are not safe from. And the best thing that the melanated American can do is to continue to mind our business and not congregate where those people are. Where are they? You know where they are. Where do you need not to be going? Where they are. Okay? Do you catch my drift? Is it understandable? They said heads down, hands up. I'm not sure about you, but I only want to be where the black people are. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be around white people. If there are 20 or more, I am hitting the door.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum assalam. How are you?
How are you?
Good.
Good, yeah?
Thank
Where
you.
you from, brother?
I'm originally Kurdish from Iran.
I know you're Muslim, right?
Yes, I do.
And I'm Muslim, right?
Yes.
So I want to go and join your culture,
Yeah.
marry from you guys. Would you accept me in your culture?
I think, of course, for me, it's like any race. It doesn't
You don't have
matter.
a problem with race or
personality.
skin color or-
I would say it's like personalities. As a Muslim, we've been grown like that. We have to treat everybody on their attitude, on their manner.
Yeah.
So in Islam, we don't have any race as well. So for me, as long as you are a good man practicing, I think you've been accepted by
So
most
that's
of the people.
100% I will be accepted.
Definitely, as long as you are a nice person and a good personality,
Yep.
and you are a Muslim,
Yep.
most of the people they will accept you.
Accept me.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's go now, man. Take your stuff. Let's go. Let's go. Salam alaikum. We're coming back.
Okay, one of the most insane historical facts has got to be when Iran took a bunch of American hostages in 1979, but then decided to free all the black hostages and the women. Why did Iran do this, you ask? Well, first we got to go back a little bit to why Iran took hostages in the first place. And when you understand this, you'll also understand why Iran and the USA don't really like each other to this day. You see, Iran had a problem. You see, back before the 1950s, Iran's oil industry was basically completely taken over by the United States and Britain. Iran was barely getting a share of their oil. Iran said, knock, 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 hello? United States, Britain, can we have our oil back? United States and Britain said, who said we got your oil? Iran said, boy, we're not stupid out here. We see y'all scamming us. United States and Britain said, you got us, and we not finna lie, but we not giving your oil back though, for real. So Iran voted in a new prime minister that took back Iran's oil. United States said, ooh, we can't have that. Call in the CIA. The CIA pulls up, that boy gone. The United States brings in a new guy, the Shah, and he's very friendly towards the United States. Iran said, yo, the Shah said, look, y'all ain't even give me a chance for real. Yeah, fast forward 20 years later, he gave away all of Iran's oil and had very oppressive policies towards the people. The people of Iran said, time's up. The Shah said, time's up. Boy, you know what I got behind me? Root, root, root. Big dog United States. The Iranian people said, all right, let's see if they get to you in time. The Iranian people rose up and started hunting them down. The Shah said, oh, them folk tripping. He calls the United States. He said, yo, them folk trying to get me. The United States said, chill, we're going to get an airplane. We're going to come pick you up. We can't let our assets, our friends, suffer. The Shah gets on a plane and he dips. He said, I'll see y'all folk in the States. The people of Iran looked at the United States and said, bring back the Shah. The United States said, no, the Shah is sick. We can't give him to you right now. Iran said, we got hospitals here and jails. Bring him over. The United States said, no. And we still gonna take your oil because we're gonna bring in a new guy to still take your oil. This was the last straw for Iran. Iranian college students stormed the United States embassy and take everybody hostage. They said, bring back the Shah. The United States said, release the hostages. What are your demands? Iran said, well, they're pretty reasonable. 1, we want the Shah back. 2, we want you to leave us and our oil alone. The United States said, no. If there's something you got to know about the United States of America, is it's very hard to negotiate with. The United States wants it all at all times. They said, hostage, y'all gonna have to hold it down. The hostage said, United States said, counter offer, we keep the Shah, we keep the oil, and you give us the hostages. Iran's new supreme leader, Khomeini, said, look at my face. Do I look like I'm finna play with y'all? Give us back the, hold on. Are those black people? Now here's where things start to get wicked. Khomeini looked at the black hostages and said, don't the United States be like oppressing y'all and messing with y'all too? Black people said, well, Khomeini said, oh no, y'all are free to go. Plus the women, y'all are free to go. The white hostages said, Jamal, ain't you gonna put in a good word for me? He said, my name's Eric. He said, Andre, we're not here to argue about semantics. This is a serious situation. Go talk to them folk. Put in a good word for me. Black people said, all right, give us your number. I'm going to call you on my iPhone. We're going to put in a good word. White people said, iPhones haven't been invented yet. Black people said, exactly. Call me when they get invented. Oh, them folk dipped. Except a black man named Carl. Now, I don't know if this is him, but this picture goes with what I'm saying. You see, Carl was a Marine, but he was also a radio operator in the Marines. So he was privy to very sensitive information. Carl said, okay, we packing our bags, we going. They said, Carl, you can't come. Carl said, y'all see my skin color, right? They said, yeah, Carl, but you privy to info. You're going to have to hold it down. Carl said, ain't this about it? But Carl was released 2 years later with the rest of the hostages because President Jimmy Carter, after a lot of back and forth, there's a lot more to the story than this, finally made a deal with Iran basically saying, okay, we're going to leave you alone. Just release the hostages. Iran didn't get the Shah because the Shah actually passed away. And side note, since Jimmy Carter took so long to get the hostages released, Reagan used that against him to get elected over Jimmy Carter, and Reagan then ruined the world. But that's a story for another day. Side note, to Jimmy Carter's credit, even though he lost the election, he still worked on getting the hostages until his last day in office. In fact, he got the hostages released on his last day in office. And well, even after the hostages were released, Iran and the United States relationship had never been the same since. And in fact, before the hostage crisis and after the hostage crisis, there were many more little incidents that happened between the US and Iran. What's happening today is just another piece in a story that's been ongoing for about 100 years. They just haven't taught you it in your history books. A story that I hope ends peacefully and sooner rather than later.
I want to talk to you guys about this letter, right? The letter that the Iranian president has issued out to the American citizens, to the United States citizens. Number one, it was to the United States citizens, not the United States government. Mind you, the United States government has been pleading for weeks now, for about 2 weeks, to have conversations with Iran, and Iran has denied it each and every time. They came to us. That's a red flag. So already before even reading it, I'm already like, this is not a good sign. After reading it, I'm like, oh no, this is definitely not a good sign. Now, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, right? But my understanding, my perception of this letter is that this is Iran's last attempt in them defending themselves, explaining their stance, and also issuing out the truth to the United States citizens. This is their last time trying to explain everything to us. And when I say that this is their last time explaining to us, this is their last time explaining before everything that's about to go down actually goes down. Because once that starts, right? Once that phase of this war begins, Iran will not have time to explain to you all, United States citizens, why everything is going down the way that it's going down. They are giving us this last opportunity to basically accept the truth at our own discretion. The way that Iran organized that letter, they said everything that they needed to say. Everything that they needed to say. They started off with their history, highlighting that they have one of the oldest civilizations in history, and that throughout their entire history, not once have they ever initiated a war. Iran's president stated that throughout the entire existence of Iran, that they do not have one moment in history that supports or provides evidence that Iran has ever supported or condoned colonialism, destruction, domination, has initiated any war ever, that they have never imposed any type of sanction that has impacted the civilians of any nation. They broke that down, unlike the United States. After stating that historical fact, Iran in the letter states that portraying Iran as a threat is neither consistent with historical reality nor with present-day observable facts. And in the letter, they say all of that to explain how is it that your government was able to successfully run this propaganda about us, Iran, starting the war when we don't even have the history that supports that we are capable of this, that we do this. They are trying to make you, the American citizen, who is supposed to be the reader, understand exactly what's going on. A country that has never, throughout its entire history, who is older than the United States, has never initiated a war, yet the United States was able to successfully spread propaganda about this country and this war. Let that sink in. In the letter, Iran explained to everybody that the Iranian people have no hate towards the American citizens, towards any European, towards anybody, to be honest, right? That they, right, in their government has always made the clear distinction between government and the people. You understand how that distinction is deeply rooted in principle and collective consciousness, something that we don't have here in the United States. He pointed it out. That statement was not only made to disgrace and shame the United States government, but also the citizens, the active citizens that elected these people into these positions. And then right before the letter ends, you're now at the point, if you're reading it, right? You are 3/4 into the letter. Iran poses the fundamental question, exactly which of the American people's interests are truly being served by this war? Was there any objective threat from Iran to justify such behavior? They're asking you, the United States citizens, what did they do to deserve this? What can your government, the American government, say to justify such actions? What did they do? They're asking you, the American citizens. They want you guys to open up your eyes and see what the fuck is going on. All of these actions that the United States government is implementing, is imposing, on whose interest, on behalf of whose interest are they for? Iran stated multiple times in that letter that they will defend themselves, and they are defending themselves, that they will not stand down. This letter is their last attempt in explaining their position to the United States citizens before what goes down actually goes the fuck down. That's it.
Someone asked me how it was as a black woman being in Iran. And I told her, I was like, straight up, it was the best travel experience I've ever had in my life. I was a celebrity. I was stopping traffic in cities. I was having photo shoots with people and their entire families. I was getting presents. I was living the travel life. It was incredible, especially because I was living in India, which is very racist, very, very racist. And then I went to Iran, which was just like, I was so excited to see tourists, and they were so happy to have people who were very abnormal tourists. Like, black people don't go to Iran. They just don't do it. So they were so kind and so welcoming, and it was the most wonderful experience, the best experience I had traveling. And I want people to remember this when we see this propaganda that comes out and this divisive rhetoric that comes out. You need to know that some of these things have been pushed down our throats, and you think that everyone who's not black hates you. There is anti-blackness everywhere. I have to accept and admit that. I will never deny that. But you have to understand that not everyone is going to treat you the same based on what you've experienced, because that's something that I had to wake up to. When I got there, I was like, oh my God, there's so much anti-blackness in Arabs. And first of all, I was told Arabs are not the same as Iranians. Iranians are Persians, very proud, very old civilization. They do not appreciate being mistaken for Arabs at all. So never do that first. And second of all, they have a different life. They have a different outlook, a different culture. I found them to be so welcoming and so kind, so unbelievably kind, subhanallah. The second thing I want to address is that just because some people might be racist does not justify them being attacked and decimated. We had this conversation when the genocide started. I remember distinctly making a video, the first of my videos to ever go viral, that talked about this, that just because anti-blackness exists does not mean that we support genocide. Same thing with Iran. Even though there might be anti-blackness there, does not mean that we support their decimation. Even though there is societal oppression of women in that country, does not mean that we support this stupid, unjust war. We should have more sense than this. We cannot be going and having the same discussions over and over and over again.
And I'm just going to sum it up. Basically, he said to the right, to MAGA, to fucking Republicans, the Republican Party, right? This is basically what he says. You're being fucking misled by your fucking government. Open your fucking eyes. You're being lied to every day. And if you want to know the latest lie that he told, he says that Iran is begging for a ceasefire, and Iran comes back and checks his ass and says, no, we're not. We're in this for the long haul. Iran has never initiated war. If you go through your history, right? They've always reacted. And this is not the first time the American government has meddled in Iranian affairs. I don't know if you guys know this, but back in 1952, they meddled in their political structure and took them from moving towards a democracy and brought them back into a dictatorship. So Iran is a little bit fucking bitter. But while you thought you were suppressing them, Iran says they've grown 30%. We all know that they have the oil and they're strategically positioned. And they're saying they're in it. And as long as the United States continues to go after them, they will continue to defend themselves. And so he is begging the American people, does this war benefit you? As our economy and our gas prices are going up, I just want you to know that this is going to cost us trillions. We're already into the billions a day. And it's just rising. It's a conflict that involves 17 fucking nations and is growing. This does not benefit us. But you know who it does benefit? Who does it benefit that's over there? Remember they were trying to make that strip? Remember that? Remember that strip? That's who it benefits the most. Because those are the ones that are saying that Iran is this big threat. But there's no history of that. Now don't get me wrong. Right? We're going to have terrorists always. From Iraq. We're going to have them from everywhere. But at the end of the day, wake the fuck up. The world is telling you to wake up. Take Iran out of this motherfucker. The world is telling you to wake up. And Republican Party, MAGA, you are destroying our fucking country. You are destroying our country. You're destroying our reputation. You are destroying the position that we had in the fucking world. And it's only getting worse by the day. I paid $5 per gas the other day. And if any fucking body wants me to give them the numbers from when Biden was president, I will fucking gladly do so because I still fucking have them. I challenge you. We're already $39 trillion in debt to other countries, China being one of them. But I digress.
Don't be saying too much about Iran. They said that we're cool. They said that we are cool. They said African Americans have been through a lot. So don't say too much. Don't go over there and don't be doing too much. And you know if you look like us and you wearing that camo, you better not be doing too much. Because they said that we cool. They said that we cool. So I just want to let y'all remember that. Like, they said that we cool. They know that we kidnapped. They know that we're hostage. We have no nationalism in this bitch. We ain't got no say. We ain't got no motherfucking... I ain't got no say. I ain't got no say. You see, we try to give them a black woman president. An actual... Like, and she's still not even African American. The bitch is everything but... We got the lightest one. They didn't even want her. Obama doesn't count. Obama's not African American. He's not black American. He doesn't count. His dad's Kenyan. Doesn't. We have no say about anything. Don't even look at Obama. Don't look at Kamala. They don't represent us. We ain't got to say. Iran, I can run. You just need to, you know what I'm saying? Hit a little, okay? Please. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing. I ain't got nothing to do with this shit. Go get him though.
So guys, I hope you have watched those compilations of video and you have listened and see how Iranians, they have come out and send a very powerful message to the black Americans simply because they understand the pain of black Americans. You know, if there is a country which understand and they have seen how black people have been treated in America, it is the Iranian people, because the Iranians, you can see themselves, they have come out and admitted that they don't have any problem with black black people, because they understand how black people have been treated starting from the days of slavery. And that it is true, black people that have gone through a lot in America. You can see these people that have suffered for over 400 years. Black people that have been suffering, that have been coming out on the street trying to protest, to tell these people to stop oppressing them, to stop racism against them, to change their system. But these people, they have never come out and listened to the cries of the black people. So Iranians, they have seen and they know how black people have been treated. And also you can see from the first guy who he has come out and said that these people, they are the ones who have been eliminating the black leaders. You can see he started from the Marcus Garvey. So he went ahead and mentioned some of the black leaders who they were trying to fight for the rights of the black people, how they've been eliminated. So all along, Iranians, they've been watching how black people have been suffering. And also Iranians are the ones who have been coming out and trying to tell the American people to treat black people as also a human being. So Iranians all along, they've been on the black people side. And also there is an incident which happened, you have seen from the video, whereby the Iranians, they captured American airplane. After capturing the American airplane, they first released black people as the first hostage. So this is to tell you that these people, they didn't have any grudge with the black people. You can imagine, they captured American plane and they first released black people as the first hostage, because they were holding all Americans hostage, because the airplane was from America. So they captured it, and also they were given the orders to release the hostage, but they first went ahead and released the black hostage. So by them releasing black people as the first hostage, this is they were sending a message to the American people, because these people have been seeing how black people have been released. So by them releasing black people, first of all, they were telling these people, first of all, also you need to free also black people, to start treating them as how you are treating your fellow brothers and sisters. So because of that, we have been seeing how Irans have been always supporting black people. And also you saw the deal whereby Barack Obama made with Iranians. They had a missile. They already negotiated about this missile war, that they went ahead and negotiated about how they're going to build their missile with Barack Obama, and they negotiated very well without any conflict. But you can see, since DJT he came into power, so DJT went ahead and cancelled the deal that Barack Obama and Iran they were made earlier to stop all so that they can stop all this war. So DJT, after coming out and cancelling the peace deal that President Barack Obama had made earlier with Iran, and after Donald Trump cancelling, now the war started. We saw how Donald Trump, he first of all went ahead and struck Iran. And also Iran, they came out and started responding by also eliminating, by bombing the American air bases which they are in the neighboring countries, in the Middle East countries. So they were also sending a clear message that they are not fearing America. And also you can see now, this is to tell you that Iranians, they don't have nothing with they don't have bad bloods with black people. In fact, they highly respect black people. And recently we saw how Iranians, they came out and tweet. Iranians, they came out and tweet that if they're going to sit down and have a peaceful talk, they need to talk with Barack Obama. They came out and mentioned that they need to have a peace talk with Barack Obama, but not DJT, not Donald Trump. So because of that, also it is making DJT to go mad. But one thing about that, I wanted to pass a message to this video, is how Iranians, they understand the struggle of black people and how they feel black people. So kindly guys, I want to read some of the comments here and see also what majority of our black people they have come out and say in the comment section. This one is saying that thank you Iran for acknowledging the treatment of so-called black Americans. This one saying that I have no problem with Iran. You all stay safe. This one saying that thank you for the love you show to black Americans, peace and love to Iran. This one is saying that my uncle went to Vietnam. He said they would ask, how can you fight for a country who doesn't care anything about you? Exactly. So the Americans, they were starting to ask help from black people. They wanted to recruit many black people so that they can go and fight to this Iran war. But you can see, how can they right now want black people to come out and fight for a country which they have been always disrespecting? So these people, if they want black people to come out and fight, they need to make sure that they are involving black people in anything. They need to make sure, first of all, they're not oppressing black people, that their system, it is equal and it is treating all people equally and fairly. But for now, the black people, they are refusing to join the military simply because they are seeing that these people, they want to use them right now, because right now they are in a fight. They want to use black people. They want help from black people, but that one, it is not going to happen. This one is saying that I am a black American and we don't want war, neither. We don't run nothing here. Our people is being killed every hour on the hour by these people. This one saying that Iran's I am sorry, loved and peace. This one is saying that I agree with him, he's 100% on point. This one is saying that, and we as people need to stay and mind our open business to the amongst our own. This one is saying that Father, we need your help. 2019 God share World War III coming to America. So kindly guys, you can also share your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Kindly remember to give a video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel.